Episode 10, Day 8 takes us from Birdsville to Charleville as I start making my way home. But not before checking out the Royal Hotel in Birdsville, and then the Birkenmills Tree. With plenty of stops along the way, including stopping to check out this pissed off mulga snake. And then another quick photo opportunity before I take off towards Batuta. Where I check out a much friendlier snake, the Dreamtime Serpent at Batuta. And I couldn't go past Batuta without calling back into Batuta pub just to say g'day. It's then off to Dion's lookout to check out the view and get a bird's eye view with the drone. From there it's a marathon ride east towards Charleville. Where on arrival I encounter some ghostly figures by the side of the road. And all in a good day's ride. Alright, time to head home. See how far we get today. Pretty cool place to stay, Birdsville Hotel. Really good facilities, very clean, excellent service. Well, it's a relatively early start to the morning and I've had a cracker of a time in Birdsville. As I pass the airport on the right and say goodbye to the Birdsville Hotel on the left, the first priority of the morning will be to get some fuel, and enough to get me all the way through to Windora. And while I'm here, I'm also going to stock up on some gifts for the family and some trail snacks for along the road. Then the second stop of the day will be to check out the Royal Hotel ruins. And as I quickly find out, the Royal Hotel, which is heritage listed, was built in 1883 and later known as the Inland Mission Hospital. It was also the AIM Hostel and Birdsville Nursing Home, and was added to the Queensland Heritage Register in 1992. Alright, saying goodbye to Birdsville. Pretty good stay here. Little red and big red. As you leave Birdsville and you cross the Diamantina River, just on your right you'll find the turn-off to the Birkenmills Tree, and that'll be my next stop. Alright, I'm going to check out this Birkenmills Tree. For those of you that don't know, Birkenmills were some of Australia's most famous explorers, crossing the country from south to north, and upon doing so met an untimely end. I don't know whether this shows up, so I'm at the marker tree, one of the marker trees that Birkenmills marked. So 20th of August 1860, Robert O'Hara Burke and William John Wills set out from Melbourne to chart the course to the Gulf of Carpentaria. First south to north crossing of Australia was made up of 13 men, 20 camels and over 20 tonnes of provisions. Though successful in their quest, both Burke and Wills perished on their return journey. Seeds from the waddy tree found in the diary of William Wills verify their passage through this region. The disappearance of Birkenmills expedition stimulated exploration of the Channel Country as parties from all over Australia set out in search of survivors. Burke River and Wills Creek are memorials of their inspiring and tragic journey. There you go. There's the marker tree. Birkenmills Tree. Maybe that's the mark. Pretty special.
This marker tree, of course, is not to be confused with the Birkenmills dig tree, which is out near Inaminka. A tree that played a key part in their demise, due to Birkenmills not realising that there were supplies left under the tree, with the words dig left on the tree by the expedition party that were waiting for them, but tragically left the morning before they arrived. And so goes the story of Birkenmills, an enduring reminder of our pioneering spirit. Okay, so it's time to leave Birdsville now and start tracking towards Mildura, passing by the famous Birdsville races on the left.
Thank you, Birdsville.
I'm not sure how far I'll make it today, but the plan is to get to Charleville. Upon leaving Birdsville, you're bombarded with road safety signs, which is a good thing. It's such a vast distance with not much in between, you better be prepared. This one is telling you that there's 375 kilometres before we get fuel at Mildura. Okay, so I've got 830 odd k's to go to Charleville and about 1580 to Brisbane. It's going to be a long day in the saddle, that's for sure. And in case you missed the first one, another sign warning you about fuel, just to be sure. And so, as I settle in for the long haul and soak up this outback scenery, a certain saying comes to mind from a very famous Australian, Darryl Kerrigan. How's the serenity? Suddenly, I make the call to do an about turn. There's something on the road back there that's quite interesting and I need to go back and have a second look.
Bit of a snaky there.
It's a mulga snake, also known as a king brown.
Poor bugger's been hit. It looks like a king brown, I think.
And this poor bugger looks like he's been hit by a vehicle. I'm going to go and have a closer look. And it looks like the poor bugger is still alive. But I'm going to keep my distance because you don't want to get bitten by a snake as venomous as that out here.
Poor old bloke. Oh, you poor old bloke. I can't help you, I'm sorry.
The king brown, or mulga snake as it's also known, can grow to 10 feet long and its main diet is other snakes. And it's actually impervious to other snakes' venom. I'll be leaving this one well alone. But as much as I feel sorry for it, there's no way I'll be giving it mouth to mouth or trying to put it out of its misery. It's just too dangerous. And you wouldn't get help anytime soon out here if you got bitten. I'm sure he'll eventually become eagle food. Sad, but that's nature for you. So my next stop is on the threshold of this emergency airstrip. I know you're not allowed to stop here, but I figure if I'm quick, I might be able to just get that money shot. there's no time to waste. I better get my ass in gear and head towards Batuta. Looks like that rest stop's taken. I'll just have to stop at the next one. On a long bike trip like this, it's always important to stop and take a rest, just to freshen up. You feel so much better for it.
Rest stop. Away again.
Now I've only got 71 kilometres to get to Batuta. Just check out that view, you can see forever. At least these dusty dirt roads give you plenty of warning of oncoming traffic. And when you're approaching traffic from behind. Sometimes the traffic's not quite what you expected. And just how cool is this old truck? And check out this old World War II Willys Jeep. And even better, this old vintage ute. Wow, the things you see in the Outback. Amazing. But never take your eyes off the road. Bloody hell, that was a bit close. There must have been a vintage car rally happening somewhere today, because look at this old beauty. Just when you think there's nothing to see out here, there's always something to take you by surprise. Just north of Batuta you'll find the Dreamtime Serpent, and I stopped there on the way out to Birdsville, but I'm going to stop again and have a closer look. And how good does it look coming in from this direction?
I'm going to get a photo of the snake. The other one was very good.
As I've said before, never waste a good photo opportunity, especially if I can get my bike in front of it.
That's pretty awesome. Let's go see what the story behind the snake is. I don't think I saw that last time. Right over there, if I can. Yeah, let's do it. Down we go. Alright. Sculptures of the Dreamtime, Batuta. The artwork is first blah blah blah.
The Dreamtime Serpent basically represents the river systems in the Diamantina Shire. And I just can't resist going in for a closer look and for some more photos. Righto, now that box is ticked, it's off to Batuta. Batuta Hotel is an ideal place to stop when travelling between Birdsville and Windora. I had such a good time there a couple of nights ago, I couldn't resist calling in to say g'day. And I also plan on calling in for a cold one and some souvenirs. Well, it looks as though they're getting their morning delivery. That wouldn't happen too often, I'm sure. And just as I roll in, I'm rounded up by Rusty the dog.
It's alright, mate. It's alright, buddy. It's alright, Rusty.
Rusty hates motorbikes and drones. Oh well. The Batuta Hotel is such an iconic outback pub. Just check out this old beauty. And while I was here, I managed to grab a beer and some souvenirs and a couple of photos with these legends. Even Rusty the dog.
Alright. Quick stop to the pub. Look at that.
Our next destination for the day, I can see on the horizon in front of us, Dion's Lookout.
Alright, to Windora.
And I've only got 213 kilometres now before I get to Windora. Travelling east along the Birdsville Developmental Road, the scenery out here looks like something out of an old western movie. As I round the next bend, we soon come across the turn-off to the rocky escarpment known as Dion's Lookout. As you reach the end of the road at Dion's Lookout, all is revealed, and it soon becomes apparent how spectacular this view is from this height.
Definitely get some photos here. There's the Birdsville Development Road, just came along. Pretty awesome. Look at that. That is awesome. Some people come into our lives, leave footprints in our hearts, and we are never ever the same. In memory of Dion Brook, aged 20 years of Birdsville, who was tragically killed in a helicopter accident 18 nautical miles southwest of this point on the 25th of the 4th, 1996. Peace to all travellers who share this view. Pretty fitting monument.
With a view as spectacular as this, it's time to get some snapshots and to launch the drone. Righto, it's time to get the show on the road and get going again. We've still got a long way to go. The horizon out here can sometimes be so flat and featureless that it's almost surreal. And it's not long before I come across another emergency airstrip. And just up ahead is the turn-off to Inamika on the right. It was a destination that Paul and I had originally planned to go to, but thanks to COVID, the borders to Queensland and South Australia were shut. So that one remains on the bucket list until next time. Just up ahead I can see a willy willy or dust devil crossing the road. And it's though as if someone has gone and flicked a switch, the scenery turns from brown to green as far as the eye can see. That's good to see. It's not far now to Windora, my next fuel stop. Fuel anxiety out here is a real thing. And as I come upon our next rest stop, it's time to refuel myself as well.
Stopping here.
At each rest stop, you'll find these information signs. This one's telling you about the area that you're passing through. And the next one's about the Channel Country snakes, one of which we've already seen.
Snake we saw earlier, King Brown.
The sense of peace and serenity out here in this ever-changing landscape is really something to behold, and something that you can really experience by travelling on a motorcycle. And almost like someone's just flicked that switch again, the green soon disappears. And as more sand dunes come into view, I know that I'm not far now from Windora. As I roll off and cross that final cattle grid into Windora, that weight of isolation has lifted. There's no more fuel anxiety for the rest of the trip. I soon find myself back at the same servo where Paul and I said our goodbyes and parted company. And now it's off again towards Quilpie, but not before passing the Windora Solar Farm. Riding through the Channel Country, the scenery changes again and there's a lot more grassy plains. And it's not long before we cross Cooper's Creek. Then it's time for another quick break and a stretch.
All right. Oh. A quick bite to eat.
There's perfectly good reason why I'm riding this far off the road. As you can see, it's only one lane wide and size does matter, and I don't think I'll win that argument. It really pays to keep your eyes peeled out here. And it's not only road trains you need to keep your eyes peeled for. There are plenty of animals to watch out for too. Just look at the size of that wedge-tailed eagle. And there goes its mate. You wouldn't want to hit one of those oversized chickens. And almost like a final reminder of where I've been on this trip, one last sand dune. Check out those sheep, and just look at those little woolly jumpers go.
Little babies. I'm so ready for a break. About 37 k's out of Quilpie, just stopping for a break. Not sure where I'm going to stop tonight. I'll keep going until I feel like stopping. Cut a mile maybe or somewhere, I'm not sure. Anyway, we'll see.
Well, we're back on that single lane road again, and it's one last push towards our destination of Charleville. And another road train comes into view. That one only just missed a kangaroo jumping in front of it. And it's this time in the afternoon when they're on the move. As I roll into the town of Quilpie, it's time for one last fuel stop. It looks like it's closed, but it's actually open 24 hours. So you just simply pay by card, fill up, and you're on your way. I really love the way that outback towns take pride in their main streets, and Quilpie is no exception. Just check out these laser cutouts of beef cattle. Only 2:10 to go to Charleville. I'm nearly there. With the sun setting behind me and the shadows growing longer in front of me, I'm quickly running out of daylight, and I'm probably only going to make it into Charleville by nightfall. After seeing that kangaroo jump in front of that road train earlier, my mind starts to play tricks on me and everything begins to look like a kangaroo. It's been one long day in the saddle, and by the end of the day I would have completed nearly 12.5 hours of riding and a distance of 854 kilometres. No wonder I'm starting to see things. And as if I'm not already jumpy enough looking out for kangaroos, these two ghostly figures appear by the side of the road. A couple of Brahman bulls. And I'm steering well clear of those guys. And all just enough to keep me awake as I eventually arrive at my final destination of Charleville. Join me next time for day 9 of the trip when I head from Charleville to home. With plenty of interesting stops along the way. From a quick splash and dash in Cunnamulla to a quick stop at Balong to check out this cheeky monitor lizard. From there, it's on to St. George for lunch. And then a quick stop at the Nindy Gully pub for a cold one and some souvenirs. From there, it's on to Goondiwindi to check out this roadside art. And from roadside art at Goondiwindi, we check out some silo art at Yalarbin. And from there, it's another marathon day in the saddle towards home. Nearly 12 hours and 1,045 kilometres later. So thanks for watching, and we might see you on the next one.